Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and welcome to AAA Digest. We make Dying Light 2 videos and put them on the internet sometime. Now instead of making 20 videos on Dying Light 2, we thought let's just make one massive video that covers the majority of the game. So no 2-minute opening monologues on this channel. Here are 50 facts for Dying Light 2, and hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 more facts videos before launch, if not the post-launch. So the basics, we're starting off really simple here. Number 1, created and developed by Techlands, who have worked on previous titles such as Call of Juarez, Dead Island, God's Trigger and obviously Dying Light 1. Number 2, release window. Now, we did have something written for this because it was spring 2020. The game has officially been delayed. They released a statement saying that they will update us in the coming months with some more info on that. Number 3, cross-generation. Now, Dying Light 2 will be available for this generation of consoles, being PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, yet it will also be releasing on next-gen consoles, being Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Number 4, the protagonist. So the series have moved on from Kyle Crane with Dying Light 2, having a brand new protagonist who goes by Aiden Caldwell. Number 5, Aiden is infected. Our protagonist is infected and will have some minor and major enhanced abilities that offer Aiden an advantage in combat and even more options in regards to traversing the in-game world. Number 6, Aiden's goal. So initially, at least Aiden aims to enter the city in the hope of finding a cure for his infection, yet he quickly learns there's a huge power divide in the city. The player can help bring hope to the struggling shreds of humanity, try to survive in an infected world that grows more dangerous with each passing day. Number 7, his voice actor. Now, our protagonist is voiced by Jonas Scott, who has done prior voice work for Smite, Mazari Loves Company and played Phoenix Man in the anime One Punch Man. Now for the setting and story. So number 8, the timeline. The game is set 15 years after the events of Dying Light 1, with the truth of what happened to our former protagonist Kyle Crane left unknown to the player for now. Over the past decade, circumstances have become more desperate, with almost every human settlement across the globe being wiped out by the infection. Number 9, Dying Light 2's time period is described as, quote, the modern dark ages, with major uncivilized competition among humans, different factions fighting for control in a fictional European metropolis that was once beautiful, yet now is a ravaged and decaying world filled with infected. It's simply titled The City, as it's possibly the only known remaining city left. Number 10, inspired by. Now, Techlands lead game designer Timon Smektala, I hope I said that right, states the city and its overall aesthetic is inspired by elements of Poland, Paris, Berlin, and even takes some inspiration from Budapest. Number 11, city builder. So when creating the city, the team at Techland employed an internal technology named City Builder, which can easily assemble different building parts like ledges and windows with less input from the level designers. The technology enabled the team to create and change the city design quickly, allowing for more time to focus on other aspects, by placing a larger emphasis on the narrative. Number 12, the C engine. The Techland have created a new engine, which was built to support the development team's focus on choice and consequence that runs through the story and the gameplay. The C engine was needed to power the game in its extremely fast-paced movement and combat. Number 13, threats have evolved. So since Dying Light 1, the infected have grown stronger, with new type developing over the years that pose a larger threat to the player. Alongside this, humans offer an equal amount of danger to Aiden. They're more organised, attacking greater numbers, and are packing more firepower. Number 14, map size. The world is 4 times larger than that of Haran from Dying Light 1, with 7 different regions that introduce their own individual environments that offer different possibilities in regards to parkour, unique enemies, and introduce different game mechanics. The developers at Techland have doubled the options for parkour in Dying Light 2, offering the player much more of a variety to scale buildings and manoeuvre around its large map in unique and efficient ways. Number 15, no loading entering regions. Now, while travelling to a different district, the game will have no loading, so you're able to enter and exit each region without stumbling upon a long loading screen that takes you out of the moment. Number 16, story writers. So RPG legend Chris Avalon, who formerly worked on Fallout 2, New Vegas, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, is Dying Light 2's narrative designer. Not only that, Avalon stated, quote, we also got some individual help in the form of the former The Witcher 3 writing team. Those guys were responsible for some of the best quests from that game, including the Bloody Baron questline. All of those guys are working very hard to create a narrative, so it's fair to expect a great story in Dying Light 2 with some of the industry's finest writers involved. Number 17, dialogue choices. Now, Dying Light 2's story is much more interactive and immersive than its predecessor. Throughout our story, the game will present the player with both minor and major branching narrative choices that will impact aspects of the story, through the death of side characters and even influence the open world and how specific missions play out, with Chris Avalon describing the game as a functioning ecosystem that reacts on multiple levels to the things you do. Some choices are timed forcibly forcing the player to react quickly, while others allow for you to take as much time as you need. Number 18, multiple endings. Now the game's ending will vary based on the player's major decisions, with up to 3 possible endings for a story being mentioned. Number 19, optional region. Through our in-game choices, a whole new area can be unlocked. Beside this, a specific region can be completely destroyed, causing the player to lose all optional quests in that location due to the death of side characters. Aiden will also no longer have access to the district, just a small hint towards the impact players can have on their game. Number 20, the Fisheye. It is an important location for the story, a popular bar that the locals meet up at for some downtime and to sometimes plan this next move. The Fisheye has been titled as the epicenter or hub of the city itself, and it's owned by an important side character named Frank. Now for the parkour and stamina. Number 21, parkour variety. With every sequel comes major or sometimes minor improvements. Dying Light 2 will offer more options in regards to parkour, with over double the amount of parkour moves available in comparison to Dying Light 1, from scaling buildings to wall running to gliding through the air in order to traverse through each district. Number 22, parkour puzzles. Now during specific sections and mission sequences, the game requires the player to use their learned abilities and their environment to advance through the section, in what the development team is calling parkour puzzles. Number 23, a cool new addition is dynamic geometry, meaning parts of the map that move, rotate or change shape can be used to parkour on. Number 24, parkour combat. Now Techlands admitted in Dying Light 1 players had a focus on either combat or parkour, yet with Dying Light 2 they've promised to combine the two in a smoother fashion, such as wall running into a combat takedown. Now we're halfway there. Number 25, swinging attacks. The grappling hook can be used as a piece of equipment yet again, allowing a protagonist to swing across or from buildings. The grappling hook combined with swinging from its rope can also be used quite efficiently in combat, allowing the player to attack mid-swing or upon landing. Number 26, way down we go. Now infected and human targets can be used to break Aiden's fall by tackling them off a ledge or landing on them directly from above. Number 27, the paraglider. Our leading protagonist will also have access to a paraglider for a quicker way of travelling from A to B and reaching otherwise inaccessible areas. Number 28, stamina management. All these actions mentioned will drain Aiden's stamina, some more rapidly than others. Outside of combat, stamina will impact Aiden's ability to open doors and complete specific actions such as climbing. Number 29, opening doors. Now specific locked doors have a stamina requirement to open. If the player's stamina happens to be too low, then Aiden will be unable to unlock it through force and instead will be required to find an alternate route. Number 30, the infected. Now although Techland have been tight-lipped in terms of Dying Light 2's few infected, lead team designer Timon Smektala insisted that all the infected from Dying Light 1 will make a return alongside new infected that will pose unique and more deadly threats to Aiden. Now on to the next section, combat. So number 31, tactical combat. So blocking, parrying and dodging have been improved upon, allowing for more control over your character. We're able to use our environment to our advantage and it's almost encouraged, using nearby objects as weapons, throwing buckets to distract targets, grapple hooking objects and flinging them at our enemies. There's so many more possibilities to eliminating targets this time around. Number 32, weapon mods. Now yet again, schematics can be found throughout the world. All the weapons are made from modern materials, with more weapon modding options being made available. Unlike Dying Light 1 this time around, modded weapons will have to be activated when you wish to use its elemental effect. Number 33, the Scorpio. An extremely dangerous ranged weapon that pierces enemies and often leads to a one-hit kill when fired at a basic target. It can also be used as a melee weapon when out of ammo. Number 34, the UV flashlight, which is obviously used to keep infected at bay and can be upgraded throughout the game, making it stronger and increasing its range and making it more effective. Number 35, non-lethal stealth takedown. Now Aiden is capable of non-lethal stealth takedowns on factions that you perhaps wish to avoid killing. Number 36, dark zones are more dangerous. Houseloads of sleeping infected. These are extremely dangerous areas filled with Dying Light's most difficult infected, yet they hold large rewards for the player. Number 37, dark zones are time sensitive. To include additional tension in regards to dark zones, due to Aiden being infected he cannot remain within the dark zones for too long as it speeds up the process, so get in and out. Number 38, the biomarker. Now Aiden is equipped with a biomarker that is wrapped around his wrist, which tells the player how much time they have until Aiden goes fully infected. Number 39, different factions, who each have their own objectives and motivations. Aiden will often make choices that are in favour of one specific faction, yet will negatively impact his relationship with another. Number 40, the Renegades. An example are the Renegades, who are led by the Colonel, who are blocking water from the majority of the city, with their base of operations being within the city's pumping station. Number 41, the Peacekeepers. There is not much known about the Peacekeepers aside from their methods of governing and bringing the law to the post-apocalyptic world. They stand locked in a tense Cold War with their main rivaling power, who go by the Scavengers, and the Peacekeepers are led by Jack Matt. Number 42, the Scavengers, who are designed to be the polar opposite of the Peacekeepers, who wish to liberate the city, and they are led by Juan Reyna. Number 43, Global Relief Effort. So the main antagonist group from Dying Light 1, otherwise known as the GRE, will be making a return in Dying Light 2, although their role in Dying Light 2 for now is unknown. Number 44, Bandits. Outside of the game's major named factions, we have common bandits that threaten innocents, attack on sight, and are generally just twats. Number 45, Surveying. After reaching a suitable vantage point, Aiden can survey the area with his binoculars. From here we can spot different events occurring throughout the city and tag key targets for missions, which Aiden does to track an escaping vehicle during the recent gameplay reveal. 46. Guns can be used as pretty effective melee possibilities if Aiden is out of ammo or needs some extra space to reload. He can knock enemies back with his firearm, with certain ranged weapons having decent melee options. Number 47, Stripped Back UI. Now the UI is extremely clean and bare-boned with a compass giving the player some direction, allowing the player to discover objectives via the binoculars or exploring the world themselves. Although the main objectives of your current mission will be shown on the top left of the screen, Techlands isn't trying to overly hold the player's hand through each mission. Number 48, Vehicles. So Dying Light 2 will include usable vehicles in specific areas and during major story beats, although the team does want the player to focus on the parkour aspects of the game, so there will be a limited amount of usable cars throughout. Number 49, Co-op. Now 4-player cooperative play will return to Dying Light 2. You have the option of joining a friend and helping them through their story, although the major choices in the game will be made by the host player, and an interesting aspect of their in-game world may look different from yours based on their choices in comparison to yours. Number 50, we are finally there, the Collector's Edition. There will be a Collector's Edition for Dying Light 2, yet the actual details of what is included within have yet to be revealed, and more on that later I suppose. And that's all I've got for now, and as always I have a question for anyone who made it this far. How are you going to play this game? Are you out for yourself, or are you trying to help as many people as possible via your choices? Let us know. But that's the end of the video. More Cyberpunk and Dying Light 2 content on the way eventually. Obviously we only talk about games when there's actually stuff to talk about, so for more content like this, stay tuned on AAA Digest. Bye!